Start off with who started off the whole EV craze, Tesla. So not much to say about Tesla that we don't already know. Very well positioned. Have the gigafactories now in 3 continents, which helps them to mass produce cars at a very cost efficient price. Maybe the only downside to Tesla is the share price, because it's already been split once, as we all know, and realistically I'd find it quite hard to 2x, 4x, 5x your money within the next few years. But who knows of Tesla, but a very good company. Okay, so next we have NIO. NIO have some pretty cool tech, and one thing they have done which will benefit them is they have made a large SUV, and Chinese people, their preference are large cars. They do have a few obstacles, however. One obstacle being, of course, they have no factory of their own and rely on JAC to make their cars, and all the other cars mentioned in this video have their own factories. And the other biggest, or well, the biggest hurdle is they're trying to push into the luxury scene, the luxury market. Now, they need to contend with BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Audi, and they are the preferred luxury brands in China. And all those companies, yes, they are a little bit behind in the EV scene, but they made major announcements this week, and they're pushing hard into the EV market. So let's say for example, NIO, they're saying, well, we'll produce 5 models in the next year or couple of years. For those cars mentioned, they're going to pump out about 100 different models. So out of all the cars mentioned, I think NIO faced the biggest challenge out of everyone. But that's just from what I know of living in China and Chinese preference. Okay, Xpeng, or maybe you might know it better as Xpeng. This is the P7. It's a beautiful car. I've sat in one of these. It's the most comfortable car I've sat in. Great. I'll make a short video. So anyway, Xpeng, they're very well positioned, I believe. They have 1 factory up and running, 2 more to come shortly. They already have the licenses signed off by the Chinese government. They're also just entered into Europe, which you'd probably know already. I think they're positioned quite well in China, especially if they can keep up this standard. This is a Geely. Geely, pretty much China's most favoured car manufacturer at the moment. They make like affordable, like let's think like budget cars. Now, the one good thing going in Geely's favour is they just signed a big contract, a big partnership with Baidu, who are like China's leading search engine provider, big company, to supply Baidu with all their EV cars for their up and coming robo-taxi fleet, their autonomous taxi fleet, which puts Geely in quite a good position. So here we have BYD. This is their latest SUV, and this is their latest sedan. And actually these 2 cars here, even though they are EV, they are also conventional ICE cars as well. They're hybrids, but you can get the exact same 2 models pure EV at a little bit more of a cost. These retail for about $35,000 US. Very comfortable cars. I just sat in them a minute ago. BYD, yeah, they're very well positioned. They also make batteries, which really helps them on the EV scene. Not a bad company. They're ranked about number 3 in popularity in China. Okay, so here we have a Li. I don't really know anything about this company, to be totally honest. I'm not sure the pricing of the cars or how well they're positioned factory-wise, but I'm very surprised by the size of this SUV. This is a full-size SUV. So I've seen the Tesla, the BYD, the Xpeng, and the NIO, and this is bigger, far bigger than all of those cars by a long way. They don't even come close to the size of this car. So it might do okay, as Chinese people love large cars. Volvo. Now the interesting thing about Volvo is I mentioned Geely before. Geely actually own Volvo. Another good full-sized SUV. VW, probably the most popular brand in China at the moment. Very well positioned in the EV market, as they're in partnership with 2 of the largest Chinese manufacturers, plus they're in partnership with JAC, who manufacture NIO's cars, but they have nothing to do with NIO, VW. And I think like they're the sleeping giant in the EV market over here, because people love VW here. They love all German brand cars because of the reputation and the quality. My opinion, remembering that all green number plates are EV, so this Porsche is EV. In my opinion, and what I know of China and Chinese people, this is the sort of car the rich people buy. So if NIO want to buy into the luxury market, this is what they're contending with. Remembering the average person, they don't really care about the rich person. They don't care about the stats and the technical side of things. They just care about one thing. The name on the car. And they want to see Porsche, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Maserati, Ferrari, and they're all prominent in Chinese cities, trust me. They're not one-offs, you see them everywhere. So while all those car brands mentioned do have an upside, there's one thing they all need. They all need this: lithium. Without lithium, there is no EV car. And with no lithium, there is no battery. So it's pretty simple. No lithium, no battery, no EV. So we can take a gamble on which car company will come out on top. Xpeng, NIO, Geely, BYD, Li, the other 100, 200, 300 companies entering into the EV race, or we can buy into the lithium mines and the battery producing companies. Now, remembering this, there are only 3 large battery producing companies in the world. They own 66% of the market, nearly making it impossible for competition of any large scale to come in. So I won't tell you those names, and I won't tell you which lithium companies to invest in, but you probably want to be looking in Australia, because they are now currently the world's largest lithium producer. It was Chile before that, but Australia's taken over. And China and South Korea have 2 out of the 3 largest battery producers. So broaden your horizons, open your eyes. Don't get tunnel visioned just by looking at the EV space alone. Good luck. Okay, so just to summarise everything, I'm not telling you what you should or shouldn't invest in. That's purely up to you, of course, and you should do your own research and homework on such matters, and don't take advice from a stranger or social media in general. I'm just offering this as a different perspective, as there is a lot of hype currently in the EV market. There's also a lot of competition. You really need a crystal ball to see who's going to succeed. If we just look into the more practical side of lithium mining and battery producing, it's much easier to filter through the competition. And we know that car companies come and go, and of course there's still risk in mining companies and battery producers, but currently there is a big division between the world leaders, and very hard for newcomers to step in. A lot of these companies have already positioned themselves and have good binding deals and partnerships leading into the future with a lot of Chinese companies. So I hope this helps some people out, and take care and happy investing.